So has Jonathan Majors really been lying to our faces the entire time? Ignorance is bliss. So Jonathan recently got exposed for being violent to women and hurting a woman so badly that he put her in the hospital more and more. People are coming forward to expose Jonathan's violent past, and it looks like this might be game over for his career. But what is really going on, and what on earth does he have to say to defend himself? Jonathan Majors has had one of the biggest years of his career so far. But it looks like everything is about to come crashing down on him after some concerning allegations are recently made against him by a woman believed to be his girlfriend. In this year alone, Jonathan has made appearances in 2 hit movies, Creed 3, and at Net in The Wasp: Quantumanium. In fact, he is on course to be the next biggest villain in the MCU, so his career has pretty much been guaranteed to be on a solid path well until now, because not only is his reputation taking a serious hit, but his career is on the line as well. According to TMZ, Jonathan and the woman whose identity is currently being kept secret were in a taxi on their way home from a Brooklyn bar when she noticed that he was getting texts from another woman. And this led to an argument in the back of the text. TMZ reported this got Majors mad, and that he allegedly grabbed her hand and allegedly slapped her, or also told the alleged flames he put his hands around her neck during this. Our sources tell us that the alleged had visible injuries, including a laceration behind her ear, redness, and marks on her face. She was taken to an area hospital and is in stable condition. This is a serious allegation, y'all, and the authorities have already gotten involved. The police were called, and Jonathan was immediately arrested. He was booked, but he also got released the same day after a judge released him on his own recognizance and granted him a limited order of protection. What this basically means is that there's a restraining order in place that stops him from trying to contact the woman for any reason. So this whole thing has been a major shock because, well, Jonathan has a reputation of being one of the chillest actors in Hollywood. He's your typical Hollywood guy that doesn't get into trouble, minds his business, and just treats everyone with respect. And this is why it's been so hard for a lot of people to believe insiders reveal Jonathan's violent and shady past. But this is where the story gets wow. Because not one, but 2 people who have worked with him in the past have hinted that his nice personality is just an act, and that he's actually very cruel in real life. The first person was a filmmaker named A.B. Allen who tweeted, "There's a particular actor relatively new on the scene who Twitter has finally fallen head over heels for, who in actuality is a vicious, cruel, abusive human being, both professionally and in his personal life, and every new viral thirst tweet about him drives me insane." The first 2 was about a month before the allegations of DV against Jonathan, and Allen didn't really go into details about who he was talking about. But when Jonathan got exposed, someone went back to quote Allen's tweet, saying, "Now, we know who this tweet was about," and Allen confirmed it, saying, "Ding, ding, ding." The other person is Tim Nicolai, who worked with Jonathan on Broadway. Tim had a more direct approach to things, and he tweeted, "I'm just gonna say this about Jonathan Majors and be done with it. Folks that yell in the broader NYC community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath." And this is how virtually everyone speaks about him. It's a shame it took this long for him to be reported. So 2 people that say they know him personally claim that he's not what he wants us to believe, and honestly, that's very concerning. But then this story takes a crazier twist because according to Jonathan's camp, he was the one who called 911 because he was worried for the woman's safety as expected. He is denying the claims, which surprises nobody because this isn't the type of thing that actors typically admit to. Not unless there is a crazy amount of evidence against them. According to the police sources, Majors called 911 himself to report his concern about his girlfriend with whom he lives when police arrive. Sources say the girlfriend told a different story, that she and May Majors were in a cab on the way home from Brooklyn when he physically attacked her. Patrol officers noticed marks on the woman's body and they placed Majors under arrest. Majors was charged with strangulation, assault, and harassment. But this is weird because why on earth would he call 911 if he had put his hands on her? This might seem to prove his innocence, but at the same time there are speculations that this could all have been a ploy for him to take suspicion off himself, using the classic Darvo technique where he basically paints himself as the victim and the woman as the offender. This case has been compared to the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case, and it looks like it's going to get very, very messy very soon, because social media has already been split into, with those who believe that Jonathan is innocent and those who believe he's being manipulative. and using Darvel tactics, but Jonathan is maintaining his innocence and had this lawyer released a statement on his behalf saying Jonathan Majors is completely innocent and is probably the victim of an altercation with the woman he knows we are quickly gathering, and presenting evidence to the district attorney and the expectation that all charges will be dropped imminently. This evidence includes video footage from the vehicle where this episode took place, witness testimony from the driver and others who both saw and heard the episode, and, most importantly, 2 written statements from the woman recanting these allegations. She continued, "All the evidence proves that Mr. Majors is entirely innocent and did not about her whatsoever." Unfortunately, this incident came about because this woman was having an emotional crisis for which she was taken to a hospital yesterday. The NYPD is required to make an arrest in these situations, and this is the only reason that Mr. Majors was arrested. We expect those charges to be dropped soon. But it goes without saying that if he is found guilty, his career is going to take a very serious hit. While the MCU has not released a statement or said anything regarding the case, the U.S. Army has already temporarily dropped him as an ambassador, saying the U.S. Army is aware of the arrest of Jonathan Majors, and we are deeply concerned by the allegations surrounding his arrest. We recently released 2 ads in which Mr. Majors appears, while Mr. Majors is innocent until proven guilty. Prudence dictates that we will pull our ads until the investigation into these allegations is complete. Y'all, his career is on the line, and even though he has denied the allegations, a lot of people still don't believe him and have been saying things like, if Jonathan Majors really has been in the beer this whole time, he's really sticking ahead. He was just in an interview talking about masculinity. His kindness and gentleness, men, like that scared the hell out of me. I'm not surprised about Jonathan Majors, because men being don't surprise me. But I truly did not expect all of this. Like, he really had the public so fooled and played up this soft, masculine, emotional man. That was on purpose. And I don't know anything about Jonathan Majors' character, but what I know for absolutely certain is that any celebrity who appears in an Army recruitment commercial in the big year of Forever Wars 2023 is a walking, talking red flag. Jonathan is set up here before a judge on May 8th, and if his lawyer is telling the truth about how this was just a big misunderstanding, that it should be easy enough to clear this up in court. But if she's bluffing and trying to buy time, well, it's probably not going to end well for Jonathan. So while we wait to see how this mess is going to play out, y'all gotta check out this crazy drama in the next video.